baseball fans, the game is over. Welcome to the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Bet above the rest. Only at the Potawatomi Sportsbook, Milwaukee. After the last pitch, you've made the switch for 21 seasons. We'll hear from the manager, the players, and the highlights from the game. It's time to talk about the game and the team with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
High fly ball. It's among the rafters up there. Foul ground right side. And Frelick makes a tremendous catch. And the Brewers hang on. Or did he? Miguel's not sure. And yeah, he got it.
It is a final from Arizona. The game and the series and those results are good. A Brewers 3-2 victory to take the three-game weekend series in the desert. Welcome in, everybody. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz in a 3-2 Brewers victory. That highlight courtesy of Peacock. And I just, this is a big win. It's a series-winning game. That's huge, especially when you are really tested with a Woody injury last night, a short start out of Sproat, and then you had to go to Grant Anderson and Drew Rom in high leverage situation. Wow. This is doing what the Brewers do. When they don't get the offense, okay, pitching is going to pick you up. And it's never easy. How about your boy Jake Bauers? I mean, unbelievable. I love that move from Livolo. I love that move. Send Rodriguez out there to start the seventh, even though Vaughn chews on you lefties. And not only what is it, a base hit, but then Bauers had the big swing. That was huge, lefty, 16 for Bauers, making it difficult not to consider him when people start bowing out of the All-Star festivities.
The Colts for now. Bauers hits a fly ball deep to right, and this one's going to go. Jake Bauers with a home run, and Milwaukee grabs the lead. He's having a terrific season. Jake Bauers leads the Brewers in homers, RBIs, and OPS. That's his 16th, and it's 2-1 Milwaukee.
Would you take Jake Bauers leading the team in homers, RBIs, and OPS? Would you take that?
Nobody would have guessed that.
Oh, that's garbage. Someone did.
Well, the only reason I wouldn't have and didn't is because I didn't think the at-bats were in there for him. And now he's an everyday player, essentially an everyday player. And it pays off today. That's a big swing. And then you have same inning where you took the 2-1 lead. You had Joey Ortiz come up later on in that frame. Gary Sanchez had doubled. He moved over on a fielder's choice. And then it was, later on in the show, it has to be, don't you think, our insurance run of the game?
Joey.
That one scores through for another Milwaukee run. Ortiz shoots it into right. Sanchez jogs home, and it's 3-1 Brewers.
Joe, you hear the Joey chants?
4 hits in the inning for Milwaukee.
Joey,
he was in to replace Cooper Pratt again today. And again, furthering the discussion of Cooper Pratt only has to be better than Luis Rengifo and Joey Ortiz, and he is not succeeding at that.
Not quite yet. I mean, you want him to bounce back a little bit, given a different role. So we'll see what happens. But 3-2, the Brewers get the victory. I want to get your reaction here on the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line at 414-677-1250. A big win for the Crew as this gauntlet of games, 18 games in 17 days, continues. Now the 11-game road trip, it's a good start. You take the series 2-1. That's a tough place to play out in the desert there. For whatever reason, Tommy, Arizona, I like their organization as a whole, just in the totality of it. They will battle you. They will. They can ambush at times. They've always had some decent pitching. I think injuries have for sure hurt that team. But they're a tough series to play, no matter what kind of season they're having. I would say that this is a big win on this road trip. And it takes a series. Now you've got 5 heading into St. Louis in the 4 days. And again, St. Louis playing a little bit better ball. They just took a series over Chicago, despite the Cubs winning today. And now the road trip continues with a 2-1 mark. They need, I think we both agree, 6 wins on this road trip. That's a good start with 2 out of the first 3.
I would take that.
Yeah.
And this series was important because ultimately you were going to gain ground no matter what with a victory in this series because of St. Louis and Chicago playing each other right now, right? So even if it wasn't going to be against the Chicago Cubs, you were going to gain ground on the St. Louis Cardinals and vice versa throughout the weekend. This series was more important for that reason alone, that you had an opportunity to separate from one of those. I think you were rooting for the Cardinals during this series.
Yeah,
but
only because you face them for 5 and can make that ground up.
Sure, I think so. The Cardinals, I believe, won 2 or 3 in that series.
Yep.
Today, Chicago took that game. But now this series was very important. I really wanted – you needed a longer outing out of Sproat today to set yourself up nicer with the series coming up against St. Louis. But hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, I guess. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
I mean, how they're doing this almost on a nightly basis. Short starts, doesn't matter. Injuries, doesn't matter. They still win these types of games. This is just what they do. Does it get frustrating? Yes. What are they? I'm going to get in the ballpark with these numbers. 5 for their last 33 in the series with runners in scoring position. 5 for 33. Okay. How about 17 for their last 103 with runners in scoring position? Oh my goodness. I mean, the fact that runners in scoring position numbers are a little beefed up, Tommy, we all know this because there's runners in scoring position, it already means that the pitcher's in trouble. Overall, just a general brushstroke sense kind of thing. So the numbers are going to be beefed up a little bit. And that's why it's even more devastating when you go 17 for your last 103. But yet, you are winning these series and these games. Now, in terms of series victories, you do have the 2 series victories over the Cincinnati Reds, and then this series victory over the Diamondbacks of your last 5. The other 2, the outliers, would be the Atlanta Braves series, losing 2 of 3, losing to the Cubs 2 of 3. So you've won 3 of your last 5 series, and I think you would take that overall in a stretch where you're not hitting in the clutch. For sure, you would take that. Now, what happens in St. Louis, I'm not sure, but just seemingly constantly challenged with short starts. And now the Woody injury. We'll get to that in a little bit later on during the show. But in this game, a short start out of Sproat, I don't think I can call it a good start, Tommy. I just pitch count up. He had a massive amount of full counts. He fights himself out there with command. This wasn't necessarily a foul ball kind of deal where the Cubs fouled off a bunch of pitches, or the Reds battled you because they needed this win and they just fouled off a bunch of pitches. This was just your command, Sproat. Now, did he blow up? No, he didn't. He didn't blow up, and the massive inning wasn't there. So I guess you'll take that, but I'm still not ready to say that was a good outing out of Brandon Sproat. I would say it's a really good outing of middle relief out of Grant Anderson and Drew Rahm. That's where I can say that was good. Inning and 2/3 out of Grant Anderson. This is why a week ago his name came up. I think one of our callers said, you got to get rid of guys like Grant Anderson. Absolutely not. These are the guys that who else is going to chew up innings? It can't be Ashby, Uribe, and McGill out of the bullpen every night. You have to have guys eat innings. Chad Patrick is a big part of that, but so is Grant Anderson. And those numbers don't look bad for Ulysses S. Grant Anderson at all. What's his ERA now after an inning and 2/3 scoreless here?
Today, Grant Anderson lowering his ERA. Let me get it down over here.
3.4, 3.3.
He lowered his ERA down to 3.20.
3.2 for Grant Anderson. Is he high leverage? Not really. Does he chew up innings where it still is a ball game? Absolutely yes. He was pivotal in this. Also pivotal was a double play in that 8th inning, which, my goodness, that helped tremendously because it didn't feel right. The energy didn't feel right with Aaron Ashby out there. That was a mess. You can tell.
Haven rips it right at Bryce Terang, and Vargas is doubled off. Haven Smith hit an absolute missile right at the second baseman, 107 miles an hour, and he lines into a double play to end the thread.
This is what you get for sending down Lou James Groover. This is what you get.
Right.
Lou James Groover was up with the team at the beginning of this series, didn't finish with them. You weren't going to win this game. They were always screwed from the beginning.
For little Timmy Tawa.
Yeah, no shot.
I mean, come on.
No way.
Lou James Groover has to go down to, I don't know where they're triple A
Reno?
Maybe.
Sounds right.
Farmington. Who knows? But that was huge in this win for the Brewers. You know, the vibe wasn't right with Ashby. You have an errant pickoff. You have a walk in there. You have a rocket for an out. And I am screaming, get out there and talk to him before things snowball even more on him. They put the governor on him. They went out and talked to him. Still was erratic. Finally, Murph just said, I'm not going to do this. This does not feel right. It's one of the best pitching moves I've seen Murph make all year long. Didn't you think he was going to stay with Ashby?
When the bases were loaded, it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall, right?
But in past games, it was like, no, you're a ground ball away from doing this, that, or the other thing. And you could just tell. I know Brewer fans were thinking the same thing. This is not looking good. Murph goes out, makes the change. Uribe has to go, an inning plus to get the job done. And he did it. And he was just not great, but pretty good. His pitch count was up there. He's probably not going to be available for tomorrow. And then Trevor McGill, just another, he had a 1-out walk. He had to work around that, but you still felt pretty good. And you do feel pretty good about Trevor McGill. He's been on a roll, guys. And, those of us, I say us because I'm one that thinks at some point Uribe was going to be the closer. Doesn't look like that now.
Now, over his last 12 games, it is unscored upon Trevor McGill. Over his last 30 outings, it would be just 4 earned runs over the last 30 innings for McGill.
Would you take that?
I would take that. He would be an all-star, too, if he didn't have a terrible 6 games to start the season.
That was it. And people think, you look back on that and you say, well, what happened to McGill? Well, that was just a rough little patch he went through. Remember, he was demoted down to the 7th inning, and they were working him back into higher leverage, and he's made it. And you feel pretty good. And I felt pretty good about a 3-1 lead. I was going crazy when Bowers hit the home run, and then Joey knocked in an insurance run, and I'm going crazy thinking, yeah, you got this now. It's Ashby, Uribe, and McGill. It's set up. We're good. Out of a short, I never expected that out of a short start out of Sproat, that it would get to the point, a 2-run lead, with Ashby, Uribe, and McGill coming on 7th, 8th, 9th.
Well, and also we played that double play. It kind of felt like karma in this series. The Brewers were ripping the baseball this series. I mean, it was a little bit of everyone had Luis Rengifo syndrome of just hitting it too hard at people. Your good day for you on all baseball dimensions should be the same at every stadium. Good day for you on that one. I don't necessarily agree with but
in this series, right?
But back-to-back days of the Brewers are hitting a ball 420 feet and no one scoring on that play. Little ridiculous.
425 feet, and it goes, there's for some reason in a deep part of the ballpark, you put a 12-foot high fence.
That
in the deepest part of the ballpark? Are you
partially kidding? A home run, but partially not a home run as well. Makes no sense. Should totally be not. It might be the worst stadium dimensions since the Houston Astros had a pole in the middle of the field
and a hill
to
run over.
I would take a hill over this in play, not in play overhang in center field.
You ever try running uphill while you're trying to follow a football or a baseball and trying to catch it? I have.
Yeah.
And you just kind of gimp out. You just for some reason you get lower to the ground and you just sort of get low to the ground and fall down almost. That was stupid. I mean, I'm a big fan. You can comment on this too. It's probably a good time to have that conversation where uniformity from home plate down the right field line, home plate down the left field line, gaps are the same distance, straightaway center. I think a fair shot would be 402. Can we agree on 402 to dead center? 408 maybe?
Man, dude, you're going to hit so many more bombs in Colorado with this stadium that you're about to build right now.
I'm building uniformity here. And it would be like, is it an advantage for a team that plays 81 home dates at a ballpark like, I don't know, pick Great American Ballpark, where you score a bunch of runs? Colorado Rockies, Coors Field, score a bunch of runs.
Why is it not an even playing field for all professional players wherever they are?
Yeah, because I think you could make the argument that the home team gets used to it, and they're just, maybe it's the psych part of the game, the mental part of the game. You're right. Both teams have to play in it in those conditions. It's just like a snow game up in Green Bay where, both teams got to play in it, including Green Bay. But I think you might be conditioned more for that park. You have the nuances of that park, way more than the opposition, who only comes in there, 3 or at best 6 or 7 times a year. And they don't know that on a given night this happens. They don't know that you could do this. I don't know. I think 81 dates. So the other thing you could look at is you might be able to stack up wins on another team you're chasing in a playoff spot because you have a better offense. Build around your stadium. That's what I'd do.
Let's get a call in here before we head to a break. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. Let's go to KJ over in West Dallas. What's up, KJ?
Hey, TNT, the Timmy and Tommy show. Great show as always.
Thank you. And just let me finish that thought on those parks. That if it is uniform, I do think that would take away some of this. I don't know, argument about what we just said. 420 feet and the ball doesn't go somewhere out of the ballpark. I mean, if you put that uniformity back in there, you wouldn't have to worry about that. I've been a proponent of this for a long time, that it's uniform in other sports, and it almost seems but I will say this, you guys that don't like it, the creativity of it might be a turn on as well. So I get the other side. I do. Go ahead, KJ.
Yeah, Tim, to your point, I think you'd have a lot of games like you saw in Las Vegas, right, with the Athletics, like 17-15 or whatever, if you have that kind of uniformity. I mean, you can hit a pop fly to the outfield and it'll be a home run. That's what we saw in Las Vegas. And, if you want more offense, sure, why not? If you want a Colorado or a Las Vegas type atmosphere, yeah, you go with that.
Well, Tommy, KJ, on this show, I've been screaming that the Brewers should build around their ballpark. And I remember even going back years, look, why would you build with a Russell Branyan who hits 206, but hits major bombs? And it awes people, and it's 460 feet. And, get those pinball players, the slap hitters, the high average guys, the on-base guys. Guess what? They kind of have. If you think about that, look at the draft picks, the Mitchells, and who's got a little power, I will add, but the Sal Freliks and the Bryce Terangs and those types of guys, those better contact guys that can play pinball and just rattle the corners. But then at that same time, gentlemen, I shouldn't bitch about the Brewers not hitting home runs at a top 5 level either. If that's what the Brewers did, which I think they made a conscious effort of doing. What would you guys do? Would you guys get a strikeout or home run guy in terms of the whole lineup or your roster or your draft choices? Would you get all or nothing guys at a park like American Family Field or Great American Ballpark?
No, I would get a guy pretty much consistent with what they have right now, like a Mitchell or one of those guys that can hit for power. I mean, they can put the ball in play quite a bit, and they get a hold of one every once in a while. But you'll have guys swinging for the fences every time they get up if you got a small ballpark.
Back to 22 games over 500, KJ. 22 games over. They got a shot for their new high water mark of 23 with a win tomorrow.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and this last series, Tim, with Arizona, it was a strange series to me. I mean, you looked at game 1 and you go, how in the world did they win that first game? I mean, that's what I thought. And then you looked at game 2 and you said, how in the world did they lose that game with all those hits they had and, a minimum amount of runs? Would they have 3 runs? So, I mean, that was weird. And then today they squeaked by with good middle relief.
Short starts in all 3 games. Think about that.
Scares me, Timmy. He scares me because he's so erratic. His command, I mean, I've seen him numerous games now come out, and the ball's everywhere. I mean, you look at his pitching, where the ball's going, and it's just all over the place. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it something that they're going to work with mechanically with him? He's got the stuff.
Yep.
I think. But
young?
He's young. And I mean, is he someone that they may try and move to the bullpen for 1 or 2 innings, or are they going to keep him as a starter, you think?
Good question. All right, KJ, thanks for the conversation.
Yep.
No, they're going to keep him starter.
Well, they have to right now.
They do, and they're invested in that.
But come October, he might not make that rotation by any means. So then you'll have to experiment with it. They did that with Miz at the end of last year in September and moved him into the bullpen to see if he would work. If he wants to be pitching in big games in October, that feels like that is the natural progression of this season on where Brandon Sproat will go.
Yep, agreed. A crazy series in Arizona. If I told you that Kyle Harrison would go 2 2/3, Brandon Woodruff would have a short start, and Brandon Sproat goes 4 innings. If I told you that, would you think that the Brewers won this series? No chance. There would have been. If you'd have told me that on Friday, I would have said, they lose 2 of 3, if not get swept. They're doing what the Brewers do. Figure it out. Find a way. Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. A Brewers 3-2 victory to take Game 3 and the series. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen, talking Brewers baseball after this 3-2 win. Welcome back. A 3-2 Brewers victory to take the game in the series in the desert over the Diamondbacks. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, and the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Who'd have thought? 55-33.
Ooh. Would you take that?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Now, are they playing great baseball still? Yeah, you can debate that. That's fine. Strong to the finish, though, as somebody once taught me. And you got a week left in 8 games. So let's finish this thing up and get into that all-star break. But keep your eyes on every game. Murph's been doing that. I mean, he's had to work this game and this series. We're examples of that. And the offense did just enough to get it done. And we'll take your calls. Nicolay Law Talking text line 414-677-1250. Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa.
Oh.
And it's Matt. What's going on, Matt?
Hi, I'm usually from Madison, but I'm actually away right now, so I'm in Iowa. But I just wanted to say about what you said about stadiums. Then what are you going to do you're going to basically, there's so much baseball history that's in the fields, like where the Red Sox play,
Fenway,
the Green Giant, and then and Yankee Stadium, like all that baseball history. Like I like the idea, but it's impractical.
Yeah, it's never going to happen. I mean, it's too late. The precedent has been set, and I think the architecture surrounding the fields is pretty amazing when you think about it. There's some beautiful, beautiful ballparks. But yeah, the tradition of, you're putting a brick wall out there. You have a brick wall out for your wall? Are you kidding? I mean, when you think about that on the surface, it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
But when they were built. But yeah, go Brewers. Have a good one.
All right,
thanks,
take
Matt.
it easy. His voice sounded familiar to me.
Well, he was Matt in Madison, who was actually Matt in Iowa.
Okay.
That's what he said. So maybe we've had Matt in Madison there before. And
a new Madison.
okay, I hate that more than any take you've ever had on this show. All right, so that's fine. We'll move on so we can pass this away. Let's go to front row Ferguson here. What's going on, Fergie?
Oof, Timmy, that was rough.
That was bad.
Don't ever do that again.
Don't ever do that again.
Don't do that again.
Yeah.
By the way, Eduardo Rodriguez. So the Brewers had an Eduardo Rodriguez. I don't know if people are familiar with him. Did you know that, Tommy? They had an Eduardo Rodriguez in I want to say early to mid 70s.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and guess his number. I didn't look. I'm pretty sure it's 23.
I'm afraid to know where this is going, Tim, given your last.
I'm pretty sure was it 23? Not to be confused with Ellie Rodriguez, who is a catcher for the Brewers.
Oh, that's who I was thinking of. Dang. He was number 23 and number 41 for the Milwaukee Brewers. So
good.
You know what? Congrats to you. You're a sicko. You're a sick. R.I.P. Eduardo Rodriguez. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I understand where your take on stadiums is coming from. However, it's dimensions are part of the game. The difference in dimensions is actually part of the game. I mean, that goes all the way back to its beginnings. Most of sports, the fields are usually uniform, but the conditions aren't. So Green Bay is an open air, cold weather stadium. You're going to force everybody to build a dome in football. There's all kinds of ways you can take that. The conditions are part of the game. That's what makes it so dramatic. And yeah, you might have a slight advantage playing 81 games there, but you also have a disadvantage because everybody comes in geared up to hit. If it's a hitter's ballpark, they know coming in. AmFam is a hitter's ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody comes into Milwaukee knowing that they've got a really good chance to put some numbers on the board. So it's not like it's a fall down advantage. That's just not how it goes in reality. you're just as much a victim to the park you play in as you are benefited by it, at least.
Yeah, no, it's a back and forth kind of thing. You could say, okay, well, Brewers are fighting the Philadelphia Phillies for a playoff spot, for example. But the Brewers get to play in a hitter's ballpark, and the numbers are higher, and you could make that argument. But on the other hand, as Tommy said, hey, the other guys get to play in the same conditions.
Absolutely. When the wind's blowing out at Wrigley, everybody benefits.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just a Cub thing. No,
but you could build your team around your park, though. You could build your team around the park. So could others. So you could make that argument
doing
too.
That for a while. They brought in ground ball pitchers, lift and separate hitters, and it didn't work. Ultimately, it didn't work because you still have to play 81 games not there. The fun part about being all these ballparks being different is the fact that they're different in and of itself. I mean, that is the fun part. It doesn't change the game, in my opinion, one way or the other, unless you're talking about a bandbox like Las Vegas is playing in today, where 95-mile-an-hour pop-ups to short right field end up 25 rows deep.
Yep.
That's obviously that you might go play at Hellfair Field then if you want to do that.
Although that series was kind of crazy and kind of goofy, and especially game one, that was fun.
Well, there was a perfect game going through the seventh today in Las Vegas, and then all of a sudden the reliever came in and the park reasserted itself, and it's no longer a perfect game. But
did they? They played another series. I thought it was only 2 series in Vegas.
No, they're in Vegas. They're in Vegas playing Miami right now. I was watching the highlights on Sunday final on MLB Network.
Guys, why did I think there was only 2 this year and the Brewers had one of them, the Rockies had the other? I don't know where I got that.
There were 2 on that stand. I don't know that was the whole season.
Okay, gotcha.
As far as the Brewers today, great team win. That's what it was a team win. Strop, he's got stuff. He's got to mature. We kind of lived through this a little bit with Burns. They'll right the ship with him. I have confidence in the pitching staff, the pitching coaching staff, to do the right thing with him. And I go back to earlier comments I made this with what happened with Woody. Any pipe dreams anyone had about him being the third starter in the postseason, those are gone.
I wouldn't say it's totally gone yet.
Oh no, you can't. No, you cannot roll him out in let's just say it's the NLCS. You roll him out in Game 3 of the NLCS, and he's throwing 75-mile-an-hour cookies because all of a sudden his arm went dead. No, you can't do that. They're not going to do that. They are going to trade for a starting pitcher, and I promise you, they are going to trade for a starting pitcher.
I'll guarantee the reliever. I'll guarantee the reliever far more than the starter. But what if I told you this? Would it change your mind, guys? If they decided to just shut Woody down from the big leagues altogether until September 10th?
It's not nearly enough ramp-up time.
No. He'd be ramping up in the minors, and he'd be ramping up, tail end of the regular season. You could gauge that and start. Hey, this is Nashville. You're not doing 3 innings. This isn't rehab, as by definition. This is you're going to get ready because you now have had 60 days off here.
They could do that. I don't think they will do that.
And I think they will. I do, and here's why. Woody, you get one more shot at this. We're not going to bring you back on August 9th, and then 3 starts later, you flame out again. Give him one last chance. Vince Gill put it right. One more last chance. And that's what I would do with him. They just might do that with him and say, hey, we're going to find out for once and for good if this is actually going to work. But we're not going to do this to where we want you back in, we're targeting late July because he's feeling better, or early August 3rd, he's going to start. And we're just, no matter how you feel, Woody, you get one more last chance. We'll activate you in mid to late September. Be ready.
That is something that I think they would do if they were in a wild card race. They're not. They are probably the second most capable team of winning a championship this season. You don't putz around with stuff like that. And Tim, it breaks my
That wouldn't
heart
be
to say this.
putzing around. That'd be shooting for the moon with him.
No,
putzing around.
banking on Woody is putzing around.
I'm not saying
No.
banking on him. I'm not saying banking on him. You give him one more last chance. You're not going to elevate him
He's not-
to the
he is
3-hole.
He is
What you're
not
going to do is elevate him to healthy, because that
he
dude,
is not.
if
he's-
he was as healthy as he was the last two starts prior to last night, the last two starts, I would absolutely say that Bulldog will go out and compete and keep you in a baseball game in the postseason.
And if
But
I
to
was
get there,
50,
you
I'd
can't
be playing
waste that.
linebacker for the Packers.
You can't
I'm
waste that, though, in games in August because you're trying to rush him back.
Yeah, I completely agree.
It breaks my heart to say this, but it's done. It's over. I love Woody to death. I think he is absolutely critical to that clubhouse. Sending him to Nashville for a couple of months is actually bad for the clubhouse. He's one of your leaders. He needs to be in the clubhouse, but it's over. He had an incredible run. It's not there anymore.
You might be right.
It happens to all of us. Age happens to all of us. It's happening to him. He's not going to be in the rotation come postseason. He's not reliable enough anymore to do that.
Can't rule it out. I cannot rule that out.
Where I can agree with you is if they let him work on the side, they put him on the 60-day IL, okay?
What's
Let
today?
him work on
July
the side.
5th, August 5th, September 5th. Yes, that's exactly what I would do.
Put him on the 60-day. No extended rehab in Nashville, okay? What you do is you prep him and get him ready to be your emergency use
Middle relief.
In the postseason.
And that could happen.
He can go out there and get you 3 outs. Even throwing 75-mile-an-hour cookies, he can do that. He is that good of a pitcher. You can't throw him for multiple innings. So if you got a critical situation, you got to get an out. I would trust him with almost my life in that situation right now today as he is. If he gets a little bit healthier, great. But he is not a starting pitcher in the major leagues anymore. And I'm sorry, it breaks my heart to say it. I don't say this with joy. It's just reality. You have to face it. They're going to have to go out and get a top of the rotations level starter to augment what they have. You put those 3 studs out there in the postseason and you roll with it.
All right. Thanks, Ferguson.
Yep. All right. Gotcha, Fergie. Thank you, man. It's sad.
Here's my thought on it. They've said they're done. Like, how many times we've had this conversation so many times with Woodruff that I don't believe it's done because I feel like there's been so many opportunities to already say it's done. With that being said, I don't trust it. I will always say health dependent whenever I talk about him now. And if the Brewers are banking on him to be a part of this role, that's not the right move either.
But do you agree that you get one more chance here down the stretch?
I felt like the last 3 chances you had one more chance left.
But now the clock is ticking, though.
The clock's been ticking.
No, but I'm just saying you now resolve yourself and process it to say this is one last chance here. We're just not going to screw around with it.
I think that they have $21 million invested in him, so they're going to give him one more chance, of course. And that's strictly because of the money invested in him. I think if Brian Fitzpatrick had the same up and down, not hurt, he'd have been cut by now on this team. Yes.
But that one more chance, my point is that one more chance can't happen in 4 or 5 weeks. It should happen in 9 weeks. That's the difference here with my one more last chance. I don't know. He's a critical part of the organization, as Ferguson said, and we all agree with that. All right, we'll take a break, continue our conversation. Nicolay Law talking text line 414-677-1250. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. 3-2 Brewers win. Okay, welcome back. Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show. 3-2 Brewers win. A lot of stuff we've been discussing in this first hour. Let's squeeze in another call before we get to our network break. We're going to go to Tony. Tony, what do you say?
Well, most importantly, I say I love the show. And what a joyful victory for the Brewers today. We won the series, as you so adroitly pointed out, Tim. And Tommy, since you're so good at this stuff, what's our series record to this point?
19-8-2.
With the ties. Exactly. Look,
That's crazy
no
good.
delay there. That's pro stuff, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's good stuff. All right, so I'm going to agree totally with Tim's take on Brandon Woodruff. I say we bring him back, maybe one start before the regular season ends. He's a starter. Here's my point. He admits he's a slow starter, but he is a starter at this point in his career, and you don't want him coming out of the bullpen with question marks. All right? You want him – and look what he's done. Every time he's come back from these injuries, he's delivered amazing performances.
Yep.
So I think that's the role we want Woody. And if he can't pitch, we still want him on the team in the clubhouse. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yeah, kind of that Wade Miley guy. Where he's so valuable.
Or a Dodgers
off the
with
field.
Kershaw type thing, right? Yeah, I get you. I just am afraid.
All right, Tony, thank you. We got to
Tony.
scoot to a break, man.
I'm afraid he has 21 bullets left. That's what I think.
Well,
I think he's got 21 more innings. If you can get 27 innings out of him, great. And if you think he's effective in those innings, I don't want to see it until October. And if you guys don't want to have anyone, if you want to have a ramp up before that, I don't want to waste him in September.
Oh, fair enough. And that means that ramp up has to be customized to his situation.
Yeah.
And that means the bottom line, when you formulate the plan, again, this is just my thought. I have no idea what the Brewers are going to do with Woody. But when you formulate the plan, you write that as your bottom line. The bottom line is this is customized to get you ready for this. And because of prior injuries, we're not going to screw around with pushing you back out there in 4 weeks when you say you feel better.
Right. I agree. I completely agree. Tim, James, Joe, Bodie, Doobie, Johnny, Kenny, hang around. We're going to get you a big segment coming up on the other side.
All on the other side after a 3-2 Brewers win. They take the game in the series. It's the Potawatomi Sportsbook post-game show here in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios. Short starts through the whole series, but the Brewers do what the Brewers do. And they find a way, and they found a way today. That 3-2 win, short start from Sproat, 2-run shot from Bowers, and the bullpen, a little shaky at times, but they got it done, especially McGill, locking in a Brewers victory. Stick around, more to come. Hey, if you guys want to hear more Brewers conversation tomorrow morning, I'll be on with Josh Albrecht at 7 o'clock for the hour. 7 to 8, we get to go Brewers in the morning. And then sets up Steve Zabin as we welcome him to the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. And looking forward to that. It'll be the second station I've worked with Zabe. If you're not familiar with Zabe, give him a try. I'm pretty sure you're going to like him. So that's tomorrow morning. Zabe's at 8. I'll be at 7. And we'll talk some Brewers baseball at 7 o'clock. Right now, we'll get all to your calls here. It's the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show here, as I said, on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Tim Allen, Tommy Wortz, and a 3-2 Brewers victory to take the game in the series.
Let's get out to Florida. Joe's out there. What's going on, Joe?
Hey, fellas. Tim, I'm doing 2 of your 3 favorite things, having a cigar and a cold beverage, but I didn't have a bet on the game. But other than that, my friend, I'm still going to be – I'm the Woodruff guy that says he's going to win 2 games in the postseason. I'll still stand behind it. I'm guaranteed Woody's going to come back stronger than ever in September, like you said. I think there's going to be a time in September he's going to come in and pitch that 5th inning, inning and a half, just to get his arm working and get him some work. I believe that's going to be a little bit of work to see how his arm and how he feels, and then he'll have another start under his belt, and that's going to determine postseason how he starts in September for that middle relief to come in.
Yeah, and it's going to be based on the ramp up and a tailor-made and a custom-made. That's what I would do. Now, again, Joe, Tommy, this could be that in a few days after he meets with his doctors again, that it could be the end. And I get that. We're just going on limited information.
Absolutely. But if it's limited and he still can come back strong, and maybe it's not the Woodruff of old, but he can come in and pitch that 5th inning, give you that inning and a half. You don't have to use Ashby coming in. You got him to come in and pitch that 5th inning. You got a lead 5-1. Woody's coming in. See how he feels. I believe strongly in Woodruff. I believe strongly in the Brewers organization that they're not going to rush him back. We need him one way or another, even if he's in the dugout, just giving his moral support to the young pitchers.
Look at you, Joe, on a Sunday evening after a holiday weekend, got a cold cocktail.
What did they keep saying in the Peacock broadcast? Something someone will know. Someone will know. They kept saying like a celebration Sunday. That's not the right word, but it was like something to do with patriotism or something too. I can't remember it. Someone will get me. 414-677-1250.
Red, White, and Brew Crew.
Oh,
absolutely.
Okay. That's way better than Matheson.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah. All right. Jeez. I can't believe I'm holding back barf from that statement from earlier. Yeah, that was awful. Let's go to Southside Doobie. What's going on, Doobs?
Hey, Tommy, I think Tim Matheson was in Animal House.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I had to give it. He goes, hey, KJ was great. Front row Ferguson, he was perfect. So I think, Tim, for a little while, I think you were on Apple TV.
Why?
Well, you were a little out of phase there.
Okay, I like that one. I like that one. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Anyway, hey, news out on Roku TV. I don't know if you have that, because 2 out of the 3 nights I couldn't even watch a Brewers.
Yeah, it's a weird TV schedule. They had Peacock involved. There was Apple TV. There was Brewers TV. There was ESPN. It's bounced all over the place. Yeah, that was challenging.
I mean, if you turn into the NBA, because to watch a Bucks game, I have to understand the internet and look at 3 different websites to see if the Bucks are going to be on.
See, Tommy's used to it. You guys can just fly through. It's over here, and you download this, and then that, and you can do a free subscription, and then cancel it, and you can. us old guys, Tommy. We just want the remote control and just turn on our
You
game.
just want to be able to say that the most technologically advanced thing you can do is hit the last button, and then you can flip back and
Go back and forth.
Yeah,
that's so cool. Still, oh, modern technology. Look at that.
You guys were like, DirecTV's about to take over after that button came out. The last button.
Oh, that button is beautiful.
I always want the last button, but let me tell you, just came out on Roku. You guys might not have seen it. Aaron Ashby's arm fell off.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, you guys. I mean, how often are we going to use Aaron Ashby? And we're going, what can we do with Woody? Woody can dot some pitches. He's a team player. He can come off the bench, do 3 innings of relief.
The one thing that does, I was scared when Ashby was out there. To your Ashby point, but the thing that scares me about Woody is used in shorter appearances. You do remember, and you guys know this. I don't need to tell you this, that Brandon Woodruff right now, or throughout his career, really, he needs to read the hitters to find out how to attack them. And when you only get one shot, if you're only going an inning and a third or an inning and 2/3, you don't get a second chance. You get one chance to kind of read the situation. He may need more innings to be as effective. I'm not sure, but that's just something to incorporate into the conversation. How many times have we heard him this year say that I just read the hitters. They tell me how to attack them.
Right. But the guy can dot. And we need the guy to dot. And Timmy, love you guys. Tommy, love you guys. Great show. Great callers. And in honor of Southside Doobies out.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, wow. Everyone wants to close out. Star Spangled Sunday. There you go. Thank you.
There it is.
414. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Star Spangled Sunday. Very nice. Cousin Tim, what's going on, Cousin Tim?
Hello?
Phone.
Hey, what's up, Cousin Tim?
What's up,
Hey,
Timmy?
wait a second with that phone thing, because I called at 5:59 when this thing came on.
Good. Now you're wasting your time now.
Caller.
Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah,
tick,
well,
tick.
whatever. Tick,
Get
tick,
going.
Tick. I'll call you later. I got to go. Goodbye.
All right, there you go. There he is, Cousin Tim.
That's one of the best calls he's had all year.
What it do, Uncle James?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. What it do? It's always so fun to call into this show after a victory. Do you realize we won 5 out of the last 6 Sunday games? And we're 9-6 on Sunday. Last year we were 18-9. If my math doubles, if that's correct, we doubled.
All right, you're
up
on a roll. It's an Uncle James Sunday. Yeah, you're on a roll.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, you realize also there's only 12 more weeks of the regular season left. Where in the hell did the year go?
Wow, it's cool. Yeah, 55-33.
So, Tim, you're going to be out at 7 o'clock in the morning. Is that on a podcast, too? Because I normally don't get out of bed till 10. I'm retired, remember?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a podcast feed coming out. I don't have the exact details for you right now, Uncle James, but we'll be in touch, and I'll let you know how it gets done.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Because, I wasn't sure. Tommy, did I call in today or did you call me? Because I thought when the phone rang, you said, hi, Uncle James. So, crap, sometimes I call my mom and she don't know who the hell I am.
I'm getting pretty good at the caller ID on this show. I'm getting pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I went out for lunch with a buddy of mine. We got home. We wound up going to a casino in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. And wouldn't you know it, we didn't get back till 5 o'clock, and we left at noon. Yeah, we had to wait till he lost all his money, but we had a good show there. But the Dragon Link was full, and the Spooky Link, dude lost all his cash. So stay away from that machine. But yeah, I know it's crazy. But I had a rough weekend. On Friday night, I'm driving into McDonald's to get some lunch to work Saturday and Sunday, and I hit a big deer, and I totaled out my car. I'm pretty sure my car is toast. Yeah. And the messed up thing about it, I called my insurance company and stuff, but because everything was closed Friday and Saturday and today, so And I even called the local cops and told them about it, but apparently they were too busy eating donuts at Quick Trip to even bother to come out 2 miles to check on me.
So did you keep the deer? Did you keep him?
No, it was, well, I seen him die. Like I said, it hit the hood of my car, and I slammed on my brakes, and my car.
I'm no hunting expert, Tommy, but I think if you hit a deer, I think you have the rights to it.
That's a DNR question. I don't got you on that.
I think so.
I don't know.
Someone will correct us on that.
The weird thing about it is, I guess nowadays they don't even pick up dead animals on the side of the road. They just let any kind of critters eat them up. And yeah, we drove by today. My buddy, like I said, would pick me up because I'm carless. And I feel bad for the poor deer. But yeah, my car is probably toast.
Dang, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, that happens. A week ago Friday, I borrowed my neighbor's truck to move some of my crap out of storage, and I dented his truck and bent the bumper and a hitch on his trailer. So yeah, the last 2 Fridays have been kind of rough. But and I'm not really upset that we only got 2 Brewers in the All-Star game. Are you guys? I mean, Miz and Contreras have both been there. They know what to expect. Give our team 4 days off. Let them, just get away from the game for a while and, keep playing Pratt up until then. If he hits 100, who cares? I mean, he's just a rookie. He's going to have mistakes. But don't you agree it's best to like Terang and Ashby that don't have to go into the All-Star game? They can just take those 4 days off?
Yeah, well, the Ashby thing, I guess I kind of get. But the Terang thing, that's tough for him. He deserves to be an all-star. Don't you guys think? He's a really one of the best players in the league, all told. Defensively, his running game, all of it, his arm, hitting, power. I feel for Bryce on that. Maybe he gets added when someone bows out.
Well, he was hitting a lot better for the average until recently, I guess. I don't know what quite happened to him, but he's been in a slump.
Well, he's on fire right now.
Yeah, he kind of, like I said, I called on Thursday. It seems like 1 or 2 guys get in a slump, and then the other 3 guys will pick it up. And can't believe Joey got an actual RBI and a big hit today. But is that correct that Jake Woodford got picked up by the Cubs, that dude that used to pitch for us?
He did. Yes.
Woodford Reserve is now. I mean, that's a catch basin for former Brewers these days. Chicago, meaning both the White Sox and Cubs.
Correct.
Wow. And wasn't he doing crappy in the minors too? I thought his ERA in Nashville was like really horrible.
That's how desperate the Cubs are for pitching. Next guy is going to be Drew Rahm.
Well, I suppose. But maybe they need guys with hot player wives, because I do remember Woodford's wife. She was a trophy's wife, that's for damn sure. But she's got to be high maintenance. But lastly, I want to bring up something for the last time. Tim, are you seeing all this stuff posted on the Most Gamers Facebook page?
I don't read a lot of it, but yeah, what's up?
Well, there's been a few texters that are criticizing callers and picking out some they don't care for and think. Some people are just a bunch of drunks and stuff, but I've always kind of, I believe that anybody that listens to this show, calls into this show, or texts into this show is part of the family. Don't you agree?
I do. And you got to be respectful and have a civil conversation. You got to remember, Uncle James, in this industry, in the entertainment world, it's so subjective. A lot of people love you, Uncle James. A lot do. Some don't.
Well, if they don't like me, then don't listen on Sundays or Thursdays, because that's the only time I'll call in.
You tell him, Uncle James. You tell him.
I've never called into any other show. And the one reason why I called this show 2.5 years ago was because I was comfortable sitting out in my shed doing my 99ers, doing whatever I smoked. And I felt that this family, this Brewers postgame show family, accepted everybody. Whether they're an addict, an alcoholic, person in recovery, somebody that's in semi-recovery, somebody that's young, old, it doesn't matter. We're all part of the family, so let's all be respectful.
All races, all religions, all everything, disability,
we
whatever.
just asked you, you're a Brewer fan.
Yeah,
yep, exactly.
That's our bond.
That's what bonds us all together as part of a family. But I guess every family has dysfunctional members, just like I'm the black sheep of mine.
Well,
but
we love you, though, Uncle James. We love you.
Well, thank you so much. With that, folks, spark it all up. I'll talk to you Thursday. And as always and forever, keep the buzz buzzing.
Keep the buzz buzzing up and down, Uncle Dave. Yeah, that's great. All right, let's keep it going here. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talking text line. Bodie is in Waukesha. What's up, Bodie?
How are we doing today, guys?
More important how you are, Bodie.
We're doing good after this Brewers win, after this series win. With what you guys were saying about a little over a half hour ago with Woody, I think that we play him for at least one start, see how he does. If he does good, great. Save him for the postseason if he does great. Because if he does great and we pitch him again in a game this before the postseason, and he messes up his shoulder again, we're screwed.
Well, just in terms of what we expect out of him, test him out late in the regular season and see what you've got at that point.
And with my reaction on the game, we got the RBI single from Joey. And the Jake Bauers home run to steal us the lead. It was just a fun game to watch with my family, to watch with a lot of family who I don't see too often. And it was a fun game to watch.
That's awesome. Bodie, enjoy this. Did you have a good 4th of July?
Yes.
Awesome. Where were your fireworks?
They were actually at the Summerfest grounds this year because we had free tickets and we had to use them up. But yeah.
Awesome. That's great to hear. Happy 4th. Have a good rest of your weekend, Bodie. Good stuff.
Thanks, Bodie. There he is, Bodie over there. Let's keep it going here. 414-677-1250. Kenny, what's up, Kenny? How we doing? Crack the beer.
Let's get her ready, boys. Here we go.
Nice. Nice. That was awesome.
You can hear that all the way from the Northwood, can't you? Because that's where I'm located. You want to talk about fun in the Northwoods so far since last Thursday? The fun meter is off the charts.
My sister, Kenny, speaking up north there in your area where you're at right now, my sister last night at our family get-together, it was a great time, 4th. And Tommy, thanks for letting me have the night off.
Of course.
She handed me a guitar pick.
Yeah.
And it was from a souvenir shop in Mercer. A Native American.
Wampum. It's called
That's
Wampum.
it. That's it. It's right on my guitar pick.
Yep. That's the Wampum shop. In fact, Joy did some work for them. Obviously, she lives in that town, and she does her drone video promos.
That place apparently has been around for 1 million years. The shop, yeah.
Yep, it's a historic place up here in the Northland, along with many of the gin mills that are in this area. So even though that's just a souvenir shop. So, but quite the deal. The weather's good. I mean, Friday we had a little sketchy weather, did a little golfing. Always listening to the Brewers. Great series for them to win. Was really hoping that they'd pull off the win last night. The nice thing about last night is we're out on the boat. Well, actually, the pontoon and watching the fireworks shows up here are incredible. I mean, the stuff that they put on is just crazy. But the wealth up here is beyond comprehension. So that's why I think some of these shows are just out of this world. The one we sat on the chain of lakes, 35 minutes, easily, of fireworks. You just don't see stuff like that. But with all that being said, Brewers were blaring in the background, beers were getting cracked, people were having fun. And some on a couple of pontoons next to us decided to jump in without a few clothes on. So it was quite entertaining, to say the least.
Nice.
Yeah, but the whole Woody thing, man, it's one of these things that we talked about a while ago, and I'm not going to be the one to say I told you so, but the fact of the matter is that the man's had so many injuries, and I know he's desperately trying to come back after those injuries. And at some point in time, your body just says, you know what? Can't do it.
But my point would be try the comeback a different way now. You're 55 and 33. Are you really leaning on Woody to continue this clip of winning? I know that's a dangerous thing to say that we can win without him, but they have been. Wouldn't you just try a different approach on this and go all in by saying, you know what? This isn't going to be 4 or 5 weeks, man. We're going to go 60 days and we're going to ramp you up a different way.
Well, okay, let me jump in before Kenny goes, and I'll say then they can absolutely not use it as an excuse if they do have starting pitching on the mind for the trade deadline, that banking on Brandon Woodruff returning to be that
Shouldn't
return
impact it.
absolutely does not impact that at all. Yes.
Agreed.
Go ahead, Ken.
Correct. And it goes to what I said when they were bringing him back, and everybody chuckled when I said, put him in as middle relief. Do not put this guy, run him back out as a starter. They knew damn well that he was limited with a dead arm. So to put him back out as a starter made no sense at all to me. You had a chance to slow play him and work him in. There's nothing wrong with being a middle reliever after all the surgeries he had. He could have easily have come in and worked an inning or two until he built his strength up.
But
where
good
he really
way to put it.
good.
Now I think you're forced to slow play him now. Just do that because this other stuff isn't working.
Correct. So with all that being said, I never, ever even considered, knowing his injury history, having him on the roster for the playoffs. He wasn't there last year, wasn't there the year before, wasn't there the year before. At this point in time, really as an organization, you have to say, we've given this guy every opportunity, regardless of how he feels and things go with him moving forward. You really cannot afford to put him on your 26-man roster, regardless of what happens. But with all that being said, this team has more upswing, and they have the luxury, of being able to work through these type of injuries, knowing that they have money, they're sitting on it, they have a tremendous amount of capital down in the farm club. They have opportunities to really go get players. If this organization believes they can win a World Series, you go and you start spending the money and use up some of your capital in the minors. I'm not saying use it all up, but you have opportunity to trade guys. We have a half dozen really potential star players sitting down there that you can use as trade bait.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
No
Kenny.
doubt.
Thank
All
you.
right, Kenny. Thanks, man. Enjoy it.
Homemade tartar sauce he sent me, by the way, which,
Really?
yeah, well, he sent me a picture of it. I'm sorry. I should have prefaced with that, but sent me a picture of some fish that he fried up and I was like, is that homemade tartar sauce? He's like, yeah, I make my own. I was like, oh, I might.
You and I both love tartar sauce.
Oh, God, I love tartar sauce.
Every bite has to be drank.
All right, we got a couple more callers we'll get to, but we got to take a break on this side, and then we'll hear from Murphy after those.
Get to Murph and continue our conversations. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show. Wrapping up the series out in the desert, a 3-2 victory today. They take the series 2-1. And it was kind of a crazy type series, but the Brewers come out on top. We'll be back. There's Tommy Wortz, Tim Allen talking Brewers baseball. We were just talking off the air, not certainly for this show's conversation, but the elite prospects that the Brewers have, will they have one that ends up being better than Jackson Chourio?
The league better hope not.
No doubt.
Andrew Fisher homered again, in case anyone was wondering. He's now up to a 46-game on-base streak, has 8 homers in 16 games with Biloxi, 1250, very on brand in Milwaukee. Nice. OPS right now, I believe, with the AA Shuckers, 1258.
If you're worried about his strikeout rate,
it's lower than Kyle Schwarber's.
Just saying.
Just saying. I know it's crazy. We're going to compare him to like one of the best power hitters of this generation, but maybe he should stop hitting home runs if he don't want us to do that.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Put the bat on the ball.
And he's not a top 100 prospect.
One more thing. Yeah, that's crazy. One more thing. Johnny, what do you got? We're going to scoot through the rest of our calls here and then get to Pat Murphy. What's going on, Johnny?
Well, unfortunately, I got about 6-7 things today.
6-7.
Yeah. How you guys doing, Tommy, Tim? How you doing today?
More important, how Johnny is.
Oh, I'm doing great. Hey, I got to say, Tim, you took a call from Florida, and you did not – I think the gentleman's name was Joe. You didn't even get an alligator update. We have had no alligator update this year.
You know why, Johnny? What was her name? Brittany Clark, I think is her name.
Dude.
That is a tough story. I wasn't going to bring that story up, man, but that's a brutal, just heartbreaking story.
There was it's mating season in Florida. I mean, truly, alligator mating season, and the water levels are low. And, yeah, she was in 3 feet of water, but there was 3 attacks this week in Central Florida. Hey, on a brighter note, I'm going to do the wildlife update this week. Okay, now we'll segue from Florida to up north. Uncle James, he backed into his buddy's truck last weekend, Tim and Tommy, no lie. And then yesterday Friday night, he hit a deer about 6:15. It was still light out, and it totaled his whole car. But he said he had never seen bigger antlers on a deer. He said that rack was bigger even than
be careful. Be careful.
Did we lose him? Did we actually lose him?
I think we actually did.
I actually lost. Right. I'm telling you.
We didn't do this.
No, he's still technically on.
We did not do this.
No, I didn't touch anything.
Right at the punchline.
That's crazy. He's gone. I have him up and on still. I'm just you still there, Johnny? Oh, I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened there.
So sorry.
That's crazy.
I did want to hear the punchline.
Oh, I think it's our system. I think it's our system now. Something weird just happened.
So the rest of the callers are gone too?
Well, I can't. I like my button bar over here is completely gone.
Ooh, yeah.
On that side. But we're still live. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, we're still on. Okay. Well, that's really unfortunate. Yeah. Dude, oh my gosh. The whole server's just reset on the phone. I swear on the punchline.
Johnny, you broke the phone.
That's insane. And someone had to be listening there. That felt like someone was listening to us.
We're being hacked.
Okay, wait. All right. The phone's just reset. Try to call in if it was Bill and
Brian.
Bill and Brian. We're still on there. Bill and Brian, if you can still hear us, try to call back. And Johnny, I'll let you finish your thought. Maybe not that one, but that was unreal timing right there on the phone line.
It's just unbelievable.
I can't believe this. That is ridiculous. All right. Well, I don't have any phones coming in now, unfortunately.
So do we want to go to Murph?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
The game is over, and it's time to hear from the skipper on the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Murph, did you know he caught it? Last time. Did you see that? No, you could see down there, but he came away and he had kind of a look on his face. And I'm like, God, it's out. I didn't know if he was in or out. I thought maybe he was on a play. I couldn't tell. He hits the ball so hard, Corbin Carroll. Like, he has such a bat. You know what I mean? He hits the ball so hard that I thought, oh my God. So here, I'll hold it for you. Oh, thanks. He does. He holds the ball super hard. I mean, hits the ball super hard, so I couldn't tell. I thought it was going on play, but wouldn't catch myself. And he didn't dive, did he?
Well,
usually he slows up and dives.
He leapt.
Yeah. Unnecessarily.
Eye of the beholder.
Sal always trying to make sports sense.
Or speaking of hard hit balls, was the theme of the series maybe hard hit balls
Don't
at
work.
guys?
It was a lot. I don't know how many. I was just counting that as you walked in, actually. I'm a little worried that we think alike. We had a bunch right at people, and so did they. So did the ball Marte hit, and what inning was that? He hit a ball to left field. What was it?
16.8.
And before that was the swinging bunt hit from Ottawa. It was like, or Troy, that was like 60 miles.
Well, the ball hit the left field at 116. I would have taken the over. You know what I mean? That ball was crushed. So they had some bad luck too. But their kid pitched great. You know, Sproat bobbed and weaved. That's not it. You know, you can't go 4 innings, 100 pitches, or whatever he did. But Anderson was clutch. Rom-Com was great. Uribe, great. You know, this is all about the pitching performance today. McGill, Uribe inning and 2/3. Anderson inning 2/3. That saved us. Rom-Com with the big out. And then Bauer's clutch and the double play that Terang did, and Gary Sanchez's base running. Going from second to third, then Ortiz's hit. Does he score on Ortiz's hit?
On the fly ball, right?
Huh?
Wasn't on the fly ball?
Yeah, he went to third. Went to third on the fly ball. But before the season started, if you would have said to me, Drew Rom's going to get a win, and Gary Sanchez is going to win the game on base running, I would have taken the under.
The bullpen was amazing this series.
Yeah. Ashby wasn't very good. Ashby wasn't very good. But he's been great for us. That's the way it goes. Guys go up and down. Relay was great.
Big knock from Bowers too. There in the third time through. I think that was against Elon. What's kind of
a homer.
key for
That's
him?
a homer. He's been doing it all year. The key is locked in. You know, he's trying to be a hitter, not just a power guy. Doesn't get down on himself, and you let him keep playing. If you keep him in there, good things happen. Vaughn came up with a big hit too. Don't forget that. Churio had a couple nice hits. Hamilton made a great play on a ball. I'll say Sanchez base running play of the game. Underrated play of the game. Go on the record with it.
Or how did you view Sproat's start in totality? Only 4 innings, but he did battled a little.
That's not good enough. No, I like the kid. Yes, he did battle, but we're not here for triers. You know what I mean? We got to get it done. So we got to save our pen today. Anderson can't go in inning 2/3, and Uribe can't go in inning 2/3. We got to save our pen for the win. We'll take the win, but we're depleted going into tomorrow.
All right, there he is.
That's amazing. You just don't hear that from other managers. That's not good enough. 4 innings, over 100 pitches. Ashby just simply wasn't good. You don't hear that. There's zero chance. I don't remember Craig Counsell in all his tenure here ever said that someone was not good in those words. And in this case, Sproat, it's not good enough here. It's not for triers. It's just so refreshing to hear, isn't it? I think that's why we love Pat Murphy, and I think that's part of his success. We do have a couple of phones back up and running. We'll get to a couple. Let's go to Brian. Brian, we'll tuck you in here.
Hey guys, biggest game of the year for me. Boy, I'll tell you, if we would have lost this game, it would have really been a stinger for me. And then beating the Diamondbacks 2 out of 3, that's a good team out there. And I think we kind of underestimate them a little bit, to say the least. But a couple things I want to hit on, and talking about Woody, I love Kenny, and I love his passion with that and all that. And Tim, I kind of agree with you, basically, the fact that
maybe it's time we just shut him down and bring him back in September. But do you remember what the Dodgers did last year with their starters that were injured? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was all a shutdown, and it was posturing to get toward the end. Then you activate them, and wow, imagine that. They're all healthy all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I think, you know, and I didn't know anything about until I just saw the clips on Twitter here about Woody having a torn labrum. I don't know. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did, and it could be all a moot point. This whole conversation could be a moot point, Tommy, Brian. It might be. He might be shut down for the year. I don't know. We'll see.
And I think, Dean, maybe he's always had that, and the cyst is always in that area. I've had a torn labrum, not fun, but I could tell you that if they could somehow shut him down and get him back for something in late September and early October, but I can't sit here, guys, and say that he will not make a 26-man roster in the playoffs. I can't say that about
Not
Woody.
yet. No,
not yet, because he's a durable guy that's an actual bulldog on the mound. And last night he was flipping curveballs and off-speed pitches and getting 14 outs, which many guys couldn't do. You know, and I love Woody to death, but I think if this isn't a clear indication that they need to go out there and get themselves a starter and a reliever, I say both.
Yep.
I say
Okay.
both.
Yeah, and you might be right, Brian. All right, Brian, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Let's squeeze in Bill here before the break. Bill, what's going on, Captain?
Hey, the first thing I got to say is, who in the world couldn't appreciate Uncle James? I don't go on FaceTime or Facebook. I don't fool around with that stuff. But if somebody's complaining, that's just not right. Your callers are great. I really enjoy listening to this program.
Thank you, Bill.
And one thing I wanted to say, and I've observed this, and I might be off base here, but it seems to me like when Aaron Ashby is brought in for a hold, he has problems. It's when he can achieve a win that he's really good.
Okay. All right.
It's just something I've observed over the last month and a half. It seems like when he can get the win, he's dynamite. I'm not saying he does it on purpose, maybe just a matter of concentration. And one last thing, this is kind of a Marshall. What is a square not square?
What is a square not square?
When is a square not square?
When is a square not square?
When?
T squared, Tommy and Timmy.
Boom.
Okay.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you, Captain. All right, we'll come back. Get your G2 insurance run of the game.
T squared. Okay.
They were talking about that on the Brewers broadcast too, with the Tim Tawa and the Troy, whatever his team.
They do realize we went to public school, right? Like you can't throw this math at us.
Yeah, I'm not that smart. I'll just tell you that right now. You know that.
No, I'm an idiot. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get to that insurance run. Bauer's a 2-run shot. Joey Ortiz, does he step up for the insurance run of the game? We'll find out next. Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show in the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Who gave the crew some breathing room? What play was it? It's time for the insurance run of the game, brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. On the Potawatomi Sportsbook postgame show with Tim Allen and Tommy Wortz on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network.
Well, you get Jake Bauers with a big 2-run home run, giving the Brewers the lead. Huge. I mean, really, Rodriguez had the Brewers and a lot of junk. And I've noticed that veteran pitchers that throw a lot of different off-speed pitches can usually harness the Brewers pretty good.
Tim, the Brewers, it feels like historically always stink against left-handed pitching, right?
Yep.
Just feels like a lefty starter back in the day. We used to chalk it up as a loss.
Right. In
the
struggles. Years past. This year, though, they've actually done pretty good.
They are 19-10 now against left-handed starters this year, compared to 36-23 against righties. Still, obviously, very good against both, but it just felt like that always was an Achilles heel.
It was,
and now they're figuring it out. As much as we all, hey, when's the last time there was a lefty pitcher? And Blake Perkins wasn't in the lineup today, too. I mean, he's playing all the lefties, right? Bauers played, Mitchell played, Frelick played, or no. Yelich played. Frelick was the only one not in. But he's playing them. He's playing them against both.
Hamilton?
No William either.
And no William. Interesting. G2 Insurance run of the game brought to you by G2 Insurance, your friend in insurance. So Bauers hits that 2-run home run. They're up 2-0. And then an out later, it's Gary Sanchez with a double. And then he's moved over on a sac fly, the cheetah. We'll call him the Jaguar.
Yeah, or the Peregrine Falcon.
Scoots over to third base, and he's there with 2 outs, and Joey with the insurance run of the game.
That one scores through for another Milwaukee run. Ortiz shoots it into right. Sanchez jogs home, and it's 3-1 Brewers.
It was 3-1 Brewers. Yeah, because we
I
all talk
noticed,
like this.
I noticed on the end of the game call, and I'm not going to rip on these announcers too bad.
Not Tim Dillard.
No, but the play-by-play guy, if you look at the final out, you listen to the final out, I think he missed the boat on potentially a great call, great catch to end the game. It wasn't just one out.
High fly ball. It's among the rafters up there. Foul ground right side. And Frelick makes a tremendous catch. And the Brewers hang on. Or did he? Miguel's not sure. And he got it.
Yeah, see how it was set. He got into it once he realized that, oh, man, great catch. Game's over. Now he's into it. But before that, it was high fly ball.
See, there, there's a baby,
and Peacock
Well, come on over to the baseball broadcast today. This is how we all talk.
Do it for us.
In sports, you want a teammate who's been there before. In Wisconsin, that teammate is G2 Insurance Services. They aren't just an agency. They are your friend in insurance. Whether you're a business owner needing a specialized BOP or a homeowner protecting your family, G2 builds relationships on honesty and value. From auto and home to complex commercial coverage, Tom and the team at G2 Insurance have been the neighborhood pros since 2004. Don't get caught without a game plan. Call G2 Insurance Services today at 262-784-0644 or visit g2ins.com.
Thank you.
Yeah. I didn't even do that. That was the broadcaster came in just to do that.
Yes, he needs an endorsement deal right there. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. We will see you again tomorrow night. It's game 1 of a big 5-game series against the St. Louis Cardinals. So those of you that are like me and my hatred against the Cubs, you guys just as passionate against the Cardinals. Ooh, this is going to be fun. Hopefully fun.
Biggest series of the year.
You think?
Yep. So far.
Yeah, I would say it's up there. It's really a chance to push the accelerator down a little bit. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. More Brewers conversation. I'll be on with Josh tomorrow for an hour, 7 to 8, just in front of Zabe as he makes his debut here on the network. For Tommy Wortz, my name is Tim Allen. You guys have a great rest of your holiday weekend. Thank you for listening. We appreciate that. And as always, smile, Wisconsin. Bob Uecker is smiling back.